Right, hopefully everybody should be hearing on stream now. Does everybody want to let us know on chat you can hear us both? Yeah, you should be live now because I can see the bars moving in the OBS Streamlabs thing. So yeah, if anybody in chat, let us know if we're a bit loud or whatever. If I need to adjust the audio. So I think I have the desktop audio set a lot lower than my mic, so you might be a lot quieter than me. I don't know. But yeah, just let us know in chat once we're going.
I have a small issue. I'm just trying to make sure there's no, because I'm getting obviously feedback when I look at the stream. Do you know how to solve that?
One sec. Right. Hopefully that the headphones are working properly now.
Okay, is this a little bit clearer? I think I should talk closer to the microphone.
Hopefully there's no feedback because I've got you on. I'm wearing headphones now, so hopefully there won't be feedback from that. So yeah, it's another couple of minutes before we start round 6. People are just rejoining the ISC. Nearly everybody back now. I've muted ISC, so you probably won't get, for those who are watching on the stream, you probably won't get the random ISC noises now. Just why I had the volume turned down because they can be pretty loud.
Okay, I've done some
so for those who weren't following before the break, UK have taken quite a big lead. They're 33 wins of the 47 games played so far. Paul Allen's got his 3 games to catch up with later on. So the score is UK 33 and South Africa 14. So there's 19 games the difference, but still lots of games left. 153 to go. So whoever wins 100.5 will win the contest overall.
Alright, so in theory you can swing 9 games at a time. You can catch up 9 games.
Yeah, if you've got any games you'd like us to watch, just let us know in chat. I'll give you the link in the chat so you can have a look for yourself which games you want to follow. Fairly easy, but see if there's any exciting ones for round 6.
Craig, why didn't you play this weekend?
Okay, no request, so let's we'll head into one of the games. So Steve G versus STWL. Very descriptive term. So yeah, so Steve G's Stephen Grist on 3 wins so far. 3 and 2. And STWL is Chris Cummins from the UK. He's also on 3 wins, so pretty high quality game. Just have the first few moves to this one. Let's I'll list them for you so you can see what's played out so far. So fairly standard stuff to start with. And Steve to play. We've got some goodies there, GX and the blank. So yeah, not looking like there's anything going to be happening with a bonus, but looks a little bit awkward to cashing in those biggies though. X and J, not great really. I guess underneath Wally looks as good as anything I can see immediately. Not great really. Something like Hawks for 29, for instance. If you wanted to use both, you could play Jaxie through the air, but probably not worth it. 19 points on your face value. Apparently there's a major storm on the go now, as Goldilocks is saying in chat. So could cause a few issues for players in that. Steve G's lost contact, that might be why. So watch one of the other games in the meantime. Once the other game, once Steve comes back, we'll once gets the game going, we'll go back to that one. Yeah, it's going ahead now. Oh, missed a few moves. So yeah, missed a few moves there. So locks went down, as we saw with the HJX blank one. Then station Haji and cheated. Was also exchange there, so we're pretty much even game now. So Steve on the left, representing South Africa, and Chris on the right, STWL, representing UK. Awkward kind of rack for Steve here. Only the one val, so would have loved to have gone down that O12 bottom right corner. Could have played Pern, something like that, but gone for a bit more of a rack leave. Fortunately for Steve, STWL, Chris can't do anything much with that bottom right corner. Too much horrible stuff. Dumps Yulu, great. Back on turn with Steve. And Steve plays vertical. Let's have a look down. Vertical. A handkerchief bearing the image of Christ's face. There you go. Interesting word. Neon to take out that dangerous triple. But a bit of a lead now for Steve, representing South Africa. 36 up. Hopefully the start of a comeback for the South African side. And without too much hesitation, Wem's going down using that hob hook. With Hobo being a possibility, it's quite a sort of dangerous lane, and with this score as it is, obvious place to play really. Keep things tight. It's going to be difficult for Chris to come back from 59 down on this board. It's pretty dead, really. Needs to open up something. Another quick play. YU on the right side of the board next to Wems. 32. 91 points difference, but that's a pretty good rack for Chris. But does it go anywhere on this board? That's a problem. And say Chris, very quick player. Just plays the board. I think I don't think there was anything there, but cause 8 didn't fit. So Rod, I mean, the good thing about Rod is it does make that F1 bonus lane a lot more accessible. Ode takes a lot more hooks than just OWE, so that's going to be a lot better now for hitting bonuses. But you'd think that Steve's probably looking at that, thinking whether he can shut it down. And yeah, it's gone for Gian to kind of obscure that lane. It's the trouble with when you get into this situation where there's only really one place to go. As soon as you open it, your opponent closes it down again. And I think that's all over now. Vide. Setting up an IV'd hook, but Steve's in there with Erasure and IV'd. There was a challenge from the Gian Nowd move, which is probably valid with. So it took 5 points off Chris's score on the right. So yeah, Erasure goes down. 6 in the bag. This is all over really. Arius goes down very quickly, as is usually the case, but when he brings it within 96, with 6 on his rack, he's not going to score that much to catch up. So it looks like a win for South Africa in this game. Let's check to one of the other matches. Let's have a look. Next one down. See if we can find another close game. It's pretty early on. Looks like early bonus of baritone for Mitsurugi, Paul Callan, as a represent neuter. Just now with a blank. So that's looking pretty reasonable for the UK, that game. Let's have a look at another one. And this one's gone in favour of South Africa so far. 90 points or thereabouts the difference. Oh, nice moves there. Semi-oval, pretty nice. Pretty good spot. Nothing much to write home about from Hightower so far. Let's have another look around, see if we can find a tight game. This is pretty early. Look at this one. So this is Howard representing South Africa on the left, and Tegan Paul representing UK on the right. There's a little bit of an early lead. Tegan, but nothing too much. This stage, a little bit of an awkward rack for Howard. Neither one consonant, a lot of awkward stuff. There's a nice little dumping play of covered. Gets rid of a lot of that clunky stuff. The alternative was something like Krog from J3. Scored a bit more, but left more ugly stuff on his rack. Meanwhile, Teghem not doing too well as well with W's, two ends as well. Bit of an ugly combination, but at least at this stage of the game, you're not going to score too much, so you're not going to drop behind too far on such a kind of awkward board. And really, the choice here is: does he exchange or does he try and play through this rack? Just come for uncovered. That's fair enough. Got rid of both the duplicates, so that's pretty good. There's a little bit of a better pickup for Howard. Sitting there with all right, which doesn't play, but is there anything he can find an 8 through any of those floaters? The H looks inviting, but a quick scan through, I'm not seeing much, unfortunately. It's one of those Neely racks. There's a lot of good sort of synergy there with a GHT and so on, but the ING combination looks interesting. It's helpful, but yeah. It's one of those sort of racks where you kind of don't know whether to keep most of it or play through it, because it's kind of hard to gauge whether how strong it is, because it's such a it doesn't look that great, but it combines well, so it's hard to decide what to do with it really. But it's gone for turnover, halting for 28, brings him from 15. There's tag end to go. Still got a different duplicate T this time, but a little bit more manageable than last time. Well, it's getting closed quite well, and Glutton's going to contribute to that, so keeps things very awkward, just leaving that E behind. But with Tagam having the initiative for this, the scores, it's in his favour to keep things tight, really. Howard's couple duplicates again, double R, double I. On this board, the Z and Zeda, or Zeda, look is pretty inviting. Sticking an A there is going to chances are you can open the board wide open and score pretty well if you have the right letters. But obviously no A's on Howard's rack there. So just going for Riot. Riot itself ticks hooks. So you've got a riot, just means in the riot state, or griot. So it takes A and G hooks. Tag L pretty know those, but can't do much with them at the moment. Picked out a lot of vowels to go with that E. 14 points difference. That leaves pretty much erased now, really, given the present rack. That Zeta spot, or Zeta, is possibly gone for carafe. It's a nice word, nice little slot in. And then Zeta boards. Getting open pretty quickly now. And Howard looks pretty good rack. Sitting there with Atropine. Not sure that plays anywhere. So is there anything else through those floaters that Tagger has just provided? Still have that Zeta hook, of course. Yeah, I can't see anything on this one. So it looks like it could be a little bit of a frustrating rack. Again, it's one of those. It's quite a good synergistic rack, but because there's no like E, that's the big difference between it being a really strong synergistic rack and a really a good rack that you can break down and still have, leave 3 or 4 tiles and still be super strong. Without the E, it's good, but it's not super strong as it would be with an E. But of course there is an E floating, so well, I'll probably take games looking to sort of play around that carafe area that E's opens. Seems the obvious place to score, as well as sort of, it's a byproduct that he just happens to block a lot of things. But Zeta still sitting there invitingly to take the A. So something like KAE, Zeta. Looks really reasonable for 31. So that's kind of definitely a backup option, or backup plan. It is handy tile, particularly with that Zeta spot and a riot. It's going to give you access to bonuses a lot of the time. Something a bit more blocky, I guess you could do something like that, but it does create a bit of a hot spot. And the K is not that great, really. It's gone for Meek, which fair enough, yeah. Gone for keeping it tight. Meek does take an S, but on the left, not the right. So yeah, that's pretty much dead, other than that scoring hotspot. So Howard's sitting there with Intone and Anointer, but neither of them are going to play. And doesn't have an A or a G to access this riot lane, which is the big one really. Now that Paul's blocked off Carafe, so it's getting pretty tight. No A either for the Zeta to open that up. It's going to be tricky here. The next thing, obvious thing, is to kind of there's something like Dawn that doesn't score much, but it leaves something very strong. Even that's kind of it's not much of it's a bit of a nothing play really. So I was going for a bit more of a score with Rin, but again it doesn't really advance his position. This bar just to keep things tight, which maybe he wants to play it like that maybe. Because the thing is with Scrabble, I mean, there's a long way to go in this game. I mean, there's 36 tiles, so you don't need to rush and open things up in a sort of kamikaze fashion. You can bide your time with Riot sitting there, because it's one of those areas that probably sit there for a while. So yeah, Taco just played off 2 vials, bouncing his rack, kind of biding his time. Got the best of pickups for Howard. Got two duplicates N and T, so it's going to be tricky to play both off. Very focused on that top right, the double E spot to cash in some points. But again, it doesn't really advance the board in any way. And it's going to give something back. It's going to give the triple board back. So tricky. So yeah, it's just gone for Brent. I think Brent is a goose or something. I don't know. It's one of those. I think it's a. Yeah, it's a goose, but it's also as an adjectival meaning, it means steep. I'm seeing apprenticed as well. So yeah, it doesn't really open up. It opens up a little bit. Trouble with right was if your opponent gets a G, they can pretty much kill the board by playing Griot and playing above, just to not open anything up. So, but as we can see, Taghelm has a rather nice wreck to cash in, and it's really trying to think of something as defensive as possible here. Maybe even looking for a big, massive overlap, making our right, but that seems unlikely because B makes it tricky. But it's probably looking at maybe something through the N, playing on the right to kill things, or maybe anything through here, starting with I, but that seems unlikely. So I'd rather not play a bonus from N1 because that's going to open up this line here, as well as lines here and here. So it's going to anything from N1 is going to blow up on the board, which is not to his advantage, obviously. Given he'll be nearly about 100 points up, he'd rather keep it tight. But so he might prefer something through the end that scores a fair bit less, but keeps things under great control. But seen a great deal yet. Yeah, there's nothing great through the N. The only one that looks playable, I think, is Vinas's, but that also opens up two lines. I mean, you've still got the line underneath, but you create this line here, and so he's gone for Dassies, gone for more points, but a little bit more aggressive, but he didn't have much option really. He had to open up, he was going to fork the board there, he was going to open up two different lanes, whatever he did. And so how it's sitting there with Boatman, which I think we'll see going down, but it doesn't look like it's got anything that's going to score much higher than that. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything else really other than Boatman. She's going to play, but 70 points is better than nothing, but probably gone through the options, make sure he's not missed anything. I mean, basically Howard has won from that exchange because he's got a bonus. Oh yes, going to play further to the left as well. Howard's got a bonus. He hasn't had the blank. Paul's Taghelm's had a bonus, but he had the blank and S's anyway. So, and the board is now wide open. So Howard's won from that exchange, even though it's more or less the same score. Well, it isn't the same score. Both got 74. But not a bad pickup from for Paul. And he's going to get the big J play, Jedi, yeah. 54. Just a look at the draw, really. Volatile board, and you picked better, basically. A little bit frustrating for Howard. Just didn't win the draw that time. Look at the Q, which is not particularly helpful on this board. He's got Sank to the N, which is one of those that people keep very easy to miss. Sank. I'm not seeing a great deal else with a Q, but there are two U's to come, so you could play through it if you wanted, but I think Sank. I mean, Sank does kill a lot of things as well, but yeah, very difficult. It's difficult to get a bonus after this. Yeah. Well, we'll have a quick look at the other game we mentioned in chat, Bob and Magus Touch. Let's have a look. We'll hop back to that game once we see through this end game. So yeah, this is a close one. 12 points in it. Bob to play. 12 down. Representing the UK. White's representing South Africa. So a few bonuses played. Estrones and Realty. Fainters as well. Ooh, big play of Zanja. Whoa. Nice score from that. So let's do the moves. Yeah. Ooh, the word challenged off earlier. G8. What happened there? I played AP. Yeah. Whoops. Tricky situation. Q to come, so that's definitely a factor. But yeah, you definitely want to get rid of one of the U's if you could. W's not a great tile. Although in this later stage, it's not too bad actually. It gets a little bit better. I mean, it's still a bad tile, but gives you some scoring options when the game's more orientated towards short plays than bonusing. Not seeing anything particularly inviting here. Yeah, definitely a struggle to see any kind of score. Any suggestions in chat? Cutie. I mean, cute. The good thing about Cutie is it leaves 2 in the bag, which I think is they also set up Ute, UWT. So leaving 2 in the bag is pretty good in general. When you're trying to outrun somebody through short words, like 1 is better if you've got like a bonusy situation, but with 2 is generally better to outrun in short games because it's hard to do an out in 2. Because you can play Equid, 2 in the bag, and you pick out 2 consonants, and then you've got PMRT. So yeah, it's pretty much anybody's game now, I think. In fact, I'd definitely favour Bob instinctively. I mean, Bob's got that big opening that Midas created, and Midas was down to time pressure, which is probably what played such a big part in that move. Interesting. Why would you play 1 there and leave Midas to play Prim? Wow. Ooh, and he's just got it down in time before they lost 10 points, but it might not even have mattered about the 10 points. Wow, what a strange play. Why would you leave that floating vowel with your opponent on 4 consonants? Oh, Midas has gone over at 1 time, but it's not going to matter. Wow. Well, that was a big move. Yeah, I think it came down to 1. If you play as, say, in chat down or downer was suggested, once you take out that I, your opponent can't do anything. 4 consonants. Okay, so that was a bit of a steal for South Africa there. Let's go back to the game we're on, if I can remember who I was watching. Okay. Yeah, so this looks pretty good for Tarkam for the UK here. Yeah, played Chin over Sank, which I guess is Chin doesn't block that bottom lane, which I guess is a factor. But yeah, it's got Howard has his work cut out to win from here, I think. 83 the difference. There is a blank and an S to come, so it's not totally dead, certainly. In fact, if you can find a good opening, it just, doesn't go either way. I'm not sure Oily Reeds did that. Yeah, did needed to open something up there. I'm not sure what, to be honest, but yeah, I need to open up something else. Easier said than done, but yeah, Oily didn't really do it, but it didn't matter anyway. Goes out with Swaggy. Let's have a look what that means. Swaggy, another Australian slang word. Another Australian word. Who would have thought Australia has so much culture? Swaggy. The Swagman Robo. There you go. Let's have a look at another game. I think most of the games in this round are done now. Let's see if we can find an interesting one. I think most of the ones we're skimming through are pretty one-sided. Ooh, this it's probably a round 7 match, so we'll watch this one. So I'm going to start from Colin there, Frisbee, representing UK. 78 up after that one. Double, 102, very nice. So yeah, we'll just confirm this is round 7. Let's have a look at these. So yeah, that's the round 7 game. Big comeback from a Tiger with Zag for 65. This is Harry Wiggins on the left, representing South Africa. Colin Northman on the right, representing the UK. So a suggestion of tout. Let's set up the queue. Well, set up in a minor way. Allow the queue to score a little bit more. Just QI has been dropped. Let me just desktop audio for a second, so you're not getting loads of background noise. So QI went down 16, being quickly back from 13. So 16 in the lead for Colin. Bing takes a load of hooks, binge and bingo for instance. But yeah, Colin's fairly straightforward play of top. And Harry not having much more luck with what they've picked up. Mister can play Groan through the OW now, which is probably worth it.
Craig, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can now. Hopefully,
Oh, okay.
should be on the stream as well now. I can see the volume bars moving, so just had my headphones switched off. Wasn't very helpful.
Huh.
But yeah, should be all good. Let us know if you need hearers in chat. Okay, both. Ooh.
All right. Looks
Turned
like my country's not doing too well.
Well, he's got back with total, so that's going to help. But yeah, South Africa's struggling in general. 19 games behind after 5 games, but still lots of games to come. After that total, it's Harton 3-8 for Colin, and that's giving him back the lead, 73 up. And looks like Vermond wouldn't quite fit for Harry. It's a little bit frustrating. Otherwise, would have dealt with an otherwise kind of mediocre rack, but it's also cute to see Vermin go down because of the hook of Overmind as well. But yeah, looks like it's not going to go, so it's going to be something on towards H1 maybe, or to open things up a little bit. Although it's fairly open now as it is, so may not be necessary. But
something like them.
Could be unseen. It's gone for vines. There's no blanks to come, so yeah, unseen don't look anything. Don't look inviting at all, really. But so yeah, Vim it might have been all right to keep a better control of what tiles you're going to pick and volatility and all that. And picking up the S is pretty handy for Colin. And there it goes, crisp 41. 81 the difference. It's a pretty big pickup for Harry as well. Lomia goes down. That's pretty much equal the game, but another big pickup from Colin. Lots of big pickups here. Totals, Heart, and F's and that.
Crisp.
Yeah.
So what, Lomia coming down and binge.
Yeah, I think we're going to see another bonus here. Yeah, I think Colin will know one of the bonuses through the floaters and Hartons. I think he'll know some of them. Yeah, he puts skiing. There's also creasing, as in Chris, like a dagger, and scaring. Skiing was probably the best. And that's E3, the difference again.
It's always so frustrating when you are chasing desperately
stumbling into your own bingos and then your opponent just keeps hitting you.
Yeah,
Often, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been surprising, really, all these big scores, considering, I mean, the blanks are gone, but you're kind of thinking, oh yes, I'm back in the game, and then say Total was met with Harton, and then Lomia was met with Skiering. So that's a nice play, ironic. Nice 6-letter word.
Lack of ease in the bag is concerning if you're trying to come back from 90 points down.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. You'd want. I mean, it helps in the way there's only 2, because it's going to make it harder to shut it down. If there was loads of E's, Colin could kill that R with Lomia. But all he can do is something pretty lame like Earn, maybe. Making GU. That's the only way he can really kill that. And it doesn't score anything, which is the main thing for. Which obviously wants to score, because the C that's just been opened in that right hand lane. I mean, that's creating the triple word bonus lane, so he needs to keep scoring in case.
Yeah, Munich is a nice score with that horrible rack.
Yeah, it's a lovely play. I mean, six letters as well. I mean, a lot of Scrabblers out. I definitely wasn't very good at my 6-letter words. I knew the JQXZ 6s, and that was about it, I think. So yeah, and of course picked up the challenge as well, which is another 5. So yeah, it's a nice play in many ways.
I mean, the bingo lanes that there aren't that great.
No.
But it's not really as if you're gonna close this board down in 1 or 2 moves. So
No.
at 50 ahead, you probably want to get some score here.
Yeah, I agree. It's. I mean, it's still quite a way. 15 tiles in the bag, so it's still quite a way to go. I mean, there's a J there, so yeah, it's definitely worth taking the points at this stage.
I like the Wart suggestion.
Yeah.
Especially with Ys to come, you don't want your opponent to hit you at 01 to the Y or the H.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Yeah.
Enjoying. Interesting. I could have played the J off at M3. With the there's another alternative.
Okay, goes for joined. I think I like Joe. I think I like your draw option better. The binge, and the RE, and the combination C potentially as well.
Yeah, I mean it just drags out the game a bit longer as well, which is always nice when you're behind. So yeah, that Earn has been come to Erd instead, but I mean the thing with Erd is D is a better starting letter for bonuses, so I mean it's obscured it, but it's still there for 8s basically. So. So it's 47 the difference now. A couple of Ys, not what you'd want to see at this stage, but the bag's looking a bit better now. So there's some way to get rid of those Ys. I mean, you could go for years at the top with the S. That would get rid of both of them, open something up. But it might. Well, given the scoreline, he would still win if he gets a bonus after that, because it's going to be a triple. It's going to be a triple bonus wherever it goes. So
can he win without bingoing, without bonusing?
I don't think so.
Probably not. I don't think so. Yeah.
There's only. I mean, there's virtually all 1 pointers apart from FH left. So you'd need to hit that J, I think, like Hadj, HAD, J,
Yeah.
something like that. But even that, you're still going to get outrun most of the time. I think you just got to go for the bonus. Obviously, you just want to get rid of the U, but you can only do so much with one turn.
Yeah. What about something like Yon and from at B4
What,
and
like,
YU?
why you? Yeah.
Because CLY is not too bad together.
Yeah, I mean that would leave you. That'd be 40 points. I guess that does make the game longer because it gives Colin the dilemma of whether he, with 3 in the bag, whether he then plays 2 off, or whether he goes for it and empties the bag and makes it.
Yeah. You can't hit and he can't punish you there to the triple without emptying the bag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's an interesting one for Bay. Could have played Buy there as well. But it doesn't open the board at all. So, I mean, ultimately, one of those triple words, the C or the D, is going to sit there. There's always going to be one of them open. So it doesn't need to open up that much, but it didn't really leave anything nice. I mean, the UY combination is not going to be good for bonusing.
Did you have 2 A's on that last track or?
No, you only had one. You had.
Oh, so I wonder what he's. Well, maybe he has something in mind.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's. I think he left. A DELUY. I think. I mean, he's probably hoping that Colin leaves one in the bag or something here, so he has another chance at sorting his rack out. But maybe he's hoping to catch up without a bonus. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if Colin goes too defensive here, or which I think would be a mistake, because unless he works out exactly what the dangers are. But with three in the bag and 3 minutes to go, I don't think it's something that.
Well, yeah, I mean that.
Mortal.
Yeah. I mean the thing that helped Colin is really that, given the situation, I mean, there's no point in leaving one in the bag because if a bonus goes down, even though you've left one in the bag, you're still going to lose. He wasn't that far enough ahead where he could absorb a bonus and still win. Any bonus he loses.
Yes.
So.
Better to empty it.
Yeah, so you may as well just empty it. So yeah, just turn the volume a bit. So yeah, let us know in chat if one voice is louder than the other. It's hard to get it exactly, but just let us know in chat if there's any sort of volumes too loud or anything like that, or too low. Just let us know. Cheers. So yeah, I'll need to go down. Leaving YU, but so yeah, just YU left. I think we've lost Jared there. So yeah, YU. So yeah, Colin just needs to play something legit here, really. Yeah, we'll have a look at that Andrew and Joe game. Looks like a good one. So yeah, 22 in it, but yeah, Colin just needs to play something legitimate here, unless I'm missing a big YU spot somewhere. I mean, he has Yum for 16. Any advance on Yum? Excuse me. Ryu, but doesn't score anymore. So yeah, 4 does the job. So that's gonna seal it for Colin, and give a UK the edge on this one. So let's have a look at that. Have a look at that game that Deco Ladies mentioned. Have a look. It's Andrew Gerald. Yes. Let's list the moves. Sorry if my computer's lagging a little bit, so all the stuff that's open quite gets a bit laggy at times. So yeah, Gerald to start. Hunted. Let's be mean and have all the solutions suggested by the computer out hunted. Sanja. Beefiest too. Fuse like this. It's my time. Aye. It's interesting being playing starting off with 3 bonuses and then being 80 behind. That's a nice opening. A bed to create that lane. Very nice. It's an interesting situation. I guess if you play the bonus here, chances aren't really they're very good at winning because you need to go out straight away after it. So it's a difficult one to weigh up. Wow. Oh dear. I definitely wouldn't have emptied the bag at that point. That's see that's the thing is once you empty the bag, you end up having a big switch in score. And Diod didn't really block anything. If you're going to play a blocky move, you'd play like OY to obscure this block here, and just almost let them hit this bonus here. Sorry about the computer. Slight. So if you play OY here, 3 in the bag, you go 477, 394. I mean, yeah, they get like even if they had Hoyer hook or something, or it's like they just about equalise. And there's one in the bag, so It's definitely not the play to even that. Then if the bonus, I mean, it's they haven't got any S, so they can't bonus here. They can get like trading, but you can maybe outrun that. But yeah, definitely didn't want to play. Empty the bag at that stage. You actually don't need. It's one of those situations where it changed because in this board, because of the scoreline, you will outrun a bonus if you leave one in the bag most of the time. There's different dynamics to the game we just watched where the bonus was going to be a triple, so and you're only 40 ahead, so even if you get another turn, you're not going to win. So interesting sort of comparison between the two. Anyway, let's see if we can get our commentator back. I think they're having storm issues in South Africa. So we'll watch. We'll have a quick look. See if we can see that the latest standings are. See if round 6 is in. Yeah, it is. So I'll go through round 6. Oh, that's good. Getting a bit closer. Bit of a comeback starting now. So South Africa closed the gap a little bit. It's now 36 to the UK, 21 to South Africa. So gap's down to 15. I think it was 19 before the break. So yeah, I'm going to find one of the games, and we'll get back to that. Hopefully, get our commentator back. Let's just pick anything. Go on. So it should be round 7 now. Interesting game. So we've got a bit of a underdog situation here. So yeah, Tag Ham would be pre-match favourite, but it's got a bit of a mountain to climb here. 75 down against Ike. So I'll let you watch that. I'll try and grab my commentator. Sorry about the phone call noise. There we go. And we should be back live now once that goes through.
Are we back?
Yes, we are. So yeah, we're watching Ike Obi versus Tag Ham at the moment. Ike to play 42 up.
Craig, can you hear me now?
Yep, we can all hear you. So Ike sitting there with a J and the Y, so a bit of scoring potential. There's a nice spot for the Y to play Yid, but you might be thinking about that O and trying to get something through there, or trying to close the board down a little bit to stop the comeback from happening. Let's have a look at the bag. Still a blank to come, a couple of S's, so fairly average looking unseen pool. Still fairly open though, with the bottom right corner all open, so ooh, that just blocked vanishes. Is there anything else?
Yid.
Yep, but I said blocked vanishes, but there is actually another word which I would never have guessed there was another bonus playable here actually. Through the E.
Okay.
Through the E in Feck. Just sounds ridiculous, but yeah, it's a good word. No, I didn't see it. Word was 7-ish. About 7, apparently. Like,
Mm.
I would never have seen that in a million years. 'Cause I wouldn't have thought it was a good word. But
One of
yes,
those words where you play 7-ish once in your life, and then the next time you'll try 2-ish, and it'll be wrong.
no, exactly. I
It'll
mean,
just sound.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, 7-ish. But yeah, still a close game. 44 in it. Yeah, 20-ish is good too. Apparently, yeah. There's lots of random numbers you can add an ish to, but like, how do you decide that in a game which is good and which isn't? I mean, it's okay playing it on when you've got Void Challenge or Scrabble Go, or,
Yeah.
but an actual game where you've one shot at playing a legitimate word. Then, yeah,
Is there a Legion here?
yeah. Yeah, it's going to bring Tag Ham back in it. 80 down, but it's going to be more or less an even game after that.
Mm. Who is Tag Ham?
Sorry?
Who is Tag Ham?
Tag Ham is Paul Allen.
Oh.
Yeah. Tag Ham is made more famous, I guess, by Mark Nyman. Mark Nyman's favourite word was always Tag Ham because it had Tag Ham has lots of. It's a very intricate word, basically. Has lots of beautiful visions of like a utopian waterfall and rainbows and specific hides of an animal and all this sort of thing. It's very kind of interesting word.
Multi-dimensional.
So yeah, he's gone for lessons for it. Yeah, 77. So 3 points in it.
Yeah. I instantly fell in love with Semi Hobo.
All right. Yeah.
Promised I would keep in the top left-hand corner to go out against Nigel in the last, sort of in the finals of the World Champs in 50 years' time. That's sort of the plan.
Yeah. So I'd take it or QI if beat Nigel, to be honest. But I'm not fussy. I think the one that I won was baths. That was my last word when I won the World Championship. So,
Yeah, you don't want to be taking any chances
no.
at that point.
But yeah, I mean, this is not a bad rack considering. I mean, there's not many E's to come. There's only one E after this rack, so the E's pretty handy. It's not the greatest to score with, but
How dangerous is that E at J10? Okay, there's an H's and W's. Just sort of looking at what the hotspots are.
Yeah, yeah,
Really.
that is the biggest one, definitely. I mean, Shiv was good for small scores, but
Yeah.
Cure unfortunately is not good, so it's probably going to swing things to Tagham's favour for that challenge. The bottom right definitely has more potential because of all the parallels and everything. You can only score, like 30 at most in that Shiv spot, but lots more flexibility with the bottom right. You've got the parallels, you've got the triple letter combination as well, so there's definitely more upside and more flexibility with that. There's a bigger danger. But, yeah, that was a big time to lose a
That was
turn.
critical.
Yeah.
Such a close time.
Yeah, I mean, there's still the H and the W still unseen because as you can see, Tagham doesn't have them either. So, so I guess from Paul's perspective, there you would probably think, well, if my opponent had nature or W or any of those sorts of letters, he would have played in that spot. where he's just gone. So Lipper opening up another sort of overlap isn't a big deal because he's not gone there with the letters that would be the danger letters. We'd already played them, sort of thing. So he's just replacing one opening with another. Similar.
And did he have the last days? When he played Lipper?
No, there's no more S's to come. So all the S's are gone. He did have the V. He's not picked anything pointing to go with it, and Dia is a better player. But yeah, the V. The good thing about Lipper was also it set up his V, because
Yes.
Tagam Paul did keep his V back. I think he kept VR A, I think. So he kept back VAR to go next turn. So it was a nice kind of combination for what he played.
Mm-hmm.
So he worked it out quite well, and it looks like it's probably going to be the game. I mean, he did empty the bag there, but apart from that Shiv spot, there's nothing great to play. And he's played EW. He's leveled it up, but I think he needed to play it with his Shiv possibly to have a chance. Although,
Crew or something.
yeah, I Clue or Crew, but then again, it wouldn't have been easy to go out with any of those. So I don't know. It's difficult. You'd think Paul's going to use the Shiv hook himself.
Yeah, it's been crying out to be used for the last.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lipper was quite creative, given what he could infer and keeping his V back.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
I think I'd have just gone Vile at Shiv and.
Yeah, I mean, from Ike's perspective, I mean, he still has that R for that rear, but that's probably going to disappear after this move. Yeah, he's not going to be able to really score anywhere with. He's got Curly left, hasn't he? So I guess there's a maybe there's a chance that Paul opens something and provides Curly as an out to play, but seems unlikely. So, I mean, probably like the only really anything that scores even remotely would be something like Crew and Rhea and Con at F13. That would score, well, the Y's are blank, so even that doesn't score much. It's like 16 points.
I suppose Paul just needs to go out in 2.
Yeah.
Almost any time he goes out in 2, he wins this game.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, even if he just scores well for 2 turns, he'd probably win.
Yeah. That's common way to lose a game is to get greedy at the end and not be able to go out in 2. You score more in your first move, and you actually give up so many points not going out in 2.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That'll do it, I think.
Yeah.
Leaves Dit or Tid behind. He's got Adit with an A from Zeta. Probably some other routes, maybe. Maybe that might be the only one. Looking around. But even if that A got blocked, I mean, you've still got the D to. It's going to score reasonably well.
Yeah.
We'll have enough.
There's not even a creative way to throw a Hail Mary in this
No,
on this board.
no, it's you need to score 19. 19 to make it interesting. Interesting 19 letter 40. 19.40.
Yeah.
See fair Paul takes the draw. So I know I've seen lots of Paul games, and Paul Tagan loves to do post-mortem analysis. He loves to I've seen a lot of 5-point penalty challenge game where he's just like, he'll try absolutely anything with the slightest
Yeah.
chance of winning, or if he challenges something which is which turns out to be good, even though he knows it's not, knows it's a ridiculous word, he'll still accept the word just to win by like 4 points instead of challenging it and go for a 100-point win. He's very win or loss, very much black and white.
It's safe to do that online, but if you're at a tournament and you're down to the wire and you're not sure if you've scored correctly, gosh,
Oh no, yeah,
I'd hate it. It's such a difficult position to be in a tournament.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's one of the aspects I don't like about 5-point penalty challenges. It does add that it's very specific bluff element. It's very
Yeah.
specific. Like I lost a game where I think somebody had played under tips. I think I knew like actually, as it happens, under tip I think is a word in another dictionary, but it's only like turnipped in Collins. And they'd played under tips and worked out I would win by like 2 or 3 points, whatever I picked out. Then I'd missed something, so they ended up tying. And then I challenged the legitimate words, which gave them a tie, so they ended up winning. So that was in Malta. So yeah, but yeah, all sorts of crazy things can happen in with small margins and maths and pressure.
The most dangerous bluff is not even the one that comes on the last move where it's where they bluff on the second to last move, and now you have to work out everything.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so that game finishes. I did, goes up, fair enough. 22-point win for Tagham. This is another win for the UK team to find another game. What's going on?
Oh, Craig, I was offline when you looked at the game between Gerald and Andrew. The Yo play was just so suicidal. Sort of just came in. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Was there time pressure involved? What is the story there?
Yeah, but it was just. I mean, it lost to any bonus. It didn't. I mean, the double the 4-timer was overkill, but it would have lost to anything. I mean, it would have lost to the TWO hooks. It's just.
Crazy.
There's another game. So we're watching live with Natalie Zed and Maddie Metcher, however you want to pronounce that. So early stages, just had a bonus from Maddie of the Dinghies, 102.55 Natalie to play, representing the UK. Promising looking rack, but it doesn't look like it's going to mature anything yet, although I might be missed them.
How do you spell editing with 2 T's? Can you spell it with 2 T's?
No. you could have e-knitting. E-knitting would be 2 T's, but editing's just the one. It's one of those. It's like I always think. Now and then I get mixed up with equaling or equaled or whatever, thinking that should have like 2 L's, but it doesn't. Well, equal does. Yeah, I think there was a time when there was some sort of those ones always do me in, like whether it's 1 L or 2 T's or whatever. or both.
Mm.
There's one that was like equaling, but I can't remember. It might be equal or yeah, equal.
More equal.
No, there's no word for that either. That doesn't exist. So I don't know where I'm getting it from. So bit C, that's nice with a crudy hook. So nice 55 points there, but looks like Natalie's rack has matured nicely into a bonus. Yeah, there's a few options here. There's the M as well, which is probably going to score a bit more than the opening that Natalie created with it. Although, with parallels, I guess if you play HETE and get both parallels, that might be a little bit better, I don't know. Quite a few options anyway.
Tigran.
Yeah, I mean, Tigran would be 71. Let's see. Double that, triple that G, and Igniter doesn't fit. To double if you could triple the G, that'd be better. Igniter would score 73.
Yeah.
Well, things like mitering and meriting are 76. So depends how you want to play, I guess. Whether you want to keep it tight or blow it open. Natalie's gone for a bit more of a keep it tight option, and it probably worked out. Woolies might have gone down, I guess. If meriting or mitering had gone down, then Woolies would have been an option as a counter. So yeah, just the wall. For 22, that's a 33-point lead. Natalie, you go. Got a few A's from after that bonus, which shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Yeah. A paid looks good. M2.
Yeah, that's a nice little slot in. It's going to score pretty well. Put that on my stream. 32 points for a paid. That would solve all the problems and score pretty well. I mean, the focus here is on FAA, but yeah, a paid is definitely going to look pretty good compared to FAA and Order or something like that. Yeah. It's definitely an upgrade. Yeah, missed the Appaid, but it was a tough one. But yeah, Appaid was definitely an upgrade on that. And
Yeah, just so many more points.
yeah, exactly. And the question there was whether you just dump the QI for 22 or 21, depending on where you want it, or did you dump the use the blank for an extra score? Do you think that was worth it?
Instinctively, no. Yeah, I don't. You see, that's not really decisive, is it? Whereas if you taken the 20, there wasn't much else that your opponent was going to score.
Yeah, I mean, I would like same as you are. It's intuitively, I would say playing QI is better because of blank's generally worth best part of 30 points. I mean, you're pretty much almost guaranteed a bonus after you play QI. So you're probably
Yes.
looking at like nearly 100 points over 2 turns, like 90 if you're being conservative. Whereas
Yeah.
here you're looking at 46 plus whatever you get here. I mean, you could be lucky and get another bonus, but you're probably going to average 30, 35. I mean,
Yeah.
you are keeping an S back, so it was keeping a good lead with after you use the blank, but you've used it for 28 points. So.
Yeah, I just think after QI, your opponent's score isn't going to be that much. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much that, is it? It's just like, I mean, Quine probably opened more on it as much as it
Exactly.
closed, so it doesn't alter the board particularly other than in a negative way. QI, I mean, yeah, Natalie had an N, so if you played like QI at M3, then Natalie had QIN and probably might have scored a little bit more with Pine or something like that. But it's fairly trivial because you're going to get most of the time you're going to get a bonus after that
Yeah.
anyway. So you're not bothered about 30s and 40s. If you 50 up and you get a bonus, it doesn't mean anything. Not a threat. So
Yeah. Okay, so it's a nice rack.
yep, it's going to certainly going to close the gap down, you'd think. And yeah, Zin goes down. I mean, there's the.
Yeah.
I was briefly looking at the spot of the A3 and C3,
Yeah.
A3, that area, but I don't think you can do anything. So, I mean, Natalie, I'm just quickly looking at the unseen tiles. I mean, there's a lot of O's to come. So there's definitely, you definitely want to get rid of one of the O's as a priority. There's so many to come. 5 out of 36. So odds are you're probably going to pick another one up pretty soon. So it's definitely something you're looking to get rid of. I guess you could look. I mean, the U is obviously a bad tile, but I mean, you've got a chance of hitting that Q triple. I guess if you keep it back, but it's probably not worth it really. But Natalie's probably looking at bonuses here and what you can do next turn. Gone for turnover. And the challenge as well, so there's an extra 5. So it's brought the gap down to 7 points. There's 2 S's to come, but with that Zin sitting there, the S's aren't. It's not a great board for S's other than the D gun spot. And that kind of turnover didn't really work out for Natalie. She's got all those O's I mentioned. So it's not great to pick up. But she's got and so on. So at least they're not going to be too much of a problem. Got in the top left corner. It'll resolve most of it, I guess.
Yeah. This game's gonna go. Looks like it's gonna be quite close.
Well, I mean that's a. Yeah, I mean even after this big pickup, I mean that's. I think there might have been a. I think it was D Salter or something. D Salter would have worked with D Gun. Yeah, D Salter. That would have been a massive upgrade on relates. I mean, this is still anybody's game really, because I mean Natalie's probably going to take the B2 spot with that J, because there's HWs and stuff, but like even leaving this the 15 column alone and playing like Joe or something in the top left, chances are so you're still going to have a bonus lane available, and chances are she, like, Mad can't run too far away, even with H's and W's, because Joe's going to score as much or more than whatever you can do. So yeah, she's gone for Jet. Interesting. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Jet Costa has to play emo, not Obo's no good. But yeah, Jet. So 51. It brings the gap to 28. And no big scoring tiles for Maddie to really to put the game to bed. So could go all the way. Yeah.
Piloria doesn't go down anywhere.
No, it doesn't look like it. No.
Oh wait, it does.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, from D.
Oh yeah,
D15.
yeah. I see now. Yep. Right. Ooh. Well, it looks like it's probably not going to cost them. It's not unless Abrupt fits in anywhere. But yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, it's pity.
Yeah. Yeah, I think from Natalie's perspective, I think you just have to. I don't think there's any point in playing off here. I think you just gotta hope for a phony. I think, unless no, I can't play for Burka.
Can we look at the bag? The bag.
Yeah. So yeah, the bag's pretty pointy, pretty nice as well. So yeah, I think you just have to take that triple, maybe even like play something like BO, Ob maybe, Ob, and hope to hit something in that bottom right. I don't know. You basically need a phony, I think, to win, to have any realistic chance. So
Pity something. And the problem is your opponent has at least the W or the H.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible you could like dump off a tile from the M and D gun, but then it just gets blocked anyway. Maybe you hit something so obscure they don't block it or something. I don't know. Yeah, but it's just.
You play MA and then hope to play Bookers or something.
Yeah, it's a shame something like Bar Rack or something doesn't fit, but. I guess if you're a North American double challenge player, you might go for Bar Rack and hope they don't notice SA. If you've played SA or something. I guess that might be the best win percentage.
It's like 66 points.
Yeah, if they don't notice that SA, yeah.
This may be one of those times to play Baroque.
She dumped off an O.
Okay, well.
Well, at least you get a decent score in that triple with ball or something like that. Make it few. Yeah. Yeah, so there it goes. EN for 11. That'll seal a victory. That's 4-5-3-4-0-1. 52-point win. South Africa takes that one. Let's have a look, see if there's any other games. Interesting games going on. If there are any close ones, let us know in chat.
Gonna have a look at the last few moves in Midas Touch and Aphasiac.
Yep.
The bag is empty.
Cool. Just wait for my laggy computer. There we go. Bag's empty. Cool. I think Kavasiak's got that one. Same with Oration. Doesn't look like it goes anywhere, but 47 the leads. And, some pretty ugly tiles on Midas Touch's rack. Definitely hasn't got a Midas Touch with those.
It's going to be interesting with the 1 minute left on his clock as well. That's always a factor.
Yeah. Nice 9-letter word there. Unnatural. Yeah, I'm just going to read out the round 7 standings. Slight little extension. It looks like UK won that one. Round 7, 6-4 maybe. So the gap's gone up by another couple of games. So UK on 42 wins. South Africa on 25. That's after round 7. We're pretty much in the end of round 8 at the moment, I think. Let's have a look at the individual standings as well. No unbeaten players left. We've got Paul Gallen and Natalie Zolty on 6 and 1. Diana Mason on 5 and 1. Still got the game against Paul Allen from earlier to play. Paul Allen's doing well as well. He's on the 4 games he's played. He's won all of them. So some good performances there. So yeah, it's a win for Aphasiac Rick Kennedy for the UK. 4-5-3-3-70. It's an 83-point win. Let's see if we catch any of these games. Let's say probably the back end of round 8. It's pretty much all the games finished now, I think. Probably just this last game. It's probably the last one in round 8, I guess. Let me have a look. This is round 8, so this is probably the last one. Round 8 games. So it's 3-4-3 to 308 to Taka, 35-point lead for the UK. Board's looking pretty dead, if I'm honest. No blanks to come.
Yes.
This thing we're looking for some 9-letter words through IT. I think that's probably the main way of getting a bonus. Probably the only way of getting a bonus on this one.
A lot turns on this move. If it's a big score, that then you're sort of, from Gerald's perspective, you've left only having to bingo to win. But if it's too small and you have some counter play, then you sort of feel like you can potentially inch your way closer. It's not as desperate. You don't necessarily have to create an opening.
Yeah, I mean, Gerald obviously doesn't know that Paul's got 2 S's, so that's going to make it very difficult to kind of catch up without a bonus, I think. Well, I mean, he doesn't know. I mean, Paul could have all the 2 U's or something like that. So, I mean, even if you don't get a bonus through that IT, you could get a double for 50-60. So there's still a possibility there.
So should Ellen be looking at something like Wasp, which takes out that double out through the IT?
Yeah, I think he's gone for Doors. Doors is a little bit risky because of the A hook at Doors, so I'm surprised he's gone for that because he's in such a strong position. He doesn't need to give any sort of sliver of hope that.
Yeah, especially with 3 A's to come, but okay.
Yeah, he doesn't need to leave anything, any sort of hope at all. He just he can sacrifice 10, 20 points there, like another 10, 15 points, to not leave anything at all, because he's so strong in the game. But even then, I mean, there are ways to open, but because Paul's got an S there, it's very difficult to open in a way that Paul won't have the S to kill off or use himself. So, Gerald just went for the quick Vi play to score some points, but I would think Paul will definitely try and kill that Adores spot he created himself.
Play open, leave one in the bag.
Yeah, he just needs to anything there. Because if he disconnect, so I'll have to rejoin that one. There we go. So yeah, he's gone for 4. That's fair enough. I mean, Paul will still be worrying about the possibility of a 9-letter word through IT because I know he's like, but yeah, he's played poor to take out the Adores. I mean, the thing that's strange is if this board was a little bit more blocked than it is, it would actually be like Gerald's just basically given the game up. But if he'd have played a ton from G8, if there weren't as many easy, like if you couldn't play onto IT, for instance, that would be quite hard to block. But because IT is there, you can play a word through IT and block everything.
Yeah. I mean, I'm one of those that would rather lose by 200 than but have a chance to win than lose by like guarantee my loss by losing, for 40, 50 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, I'd have played tied probably, maybe ton. Just give your opponent a headache if they have UUV on their rank, or
Yeah, I mean there was Ide in the top right you could extend, yeah. So with tied, as you say. So yeah, they might make a mistake, they might be phony. You don't know unless you give them the chance to make a mistake. Then
yeah.
particularly with Paul going a little bit low on time as well, as he usually does. So yeah, ended up being pretty tight actually in the end.
Yeah, that big X play came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah. He picked that XU at the end, but even with all that going his way, it still wasn't enough. So, but, yeah, 11 point the difference in the end. So it's a win for UK. I think looks like we've got a new wave of games, so it'll be probably just for round 9. So catch up with one of these. Let's have a look. Seen much of Andy, so we'll watch this one. Yeah. So say Andrew Goodwin versus Eula, Diane. Yeah, pretty even at this stage. It looks like a blank for Andrew. Tour.
No, truly.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, we've had Cure and no, Tour. Two of the quite common phony fours that come up. Well, it hasn't gone yet, so and Andy's pretty blasé when it comes to 40s. Like he doesn't. He's quite a chilled player, so you do get more past him than other people. Like
his rack looks so good. It's more interesting things on his own rack.
Yeah. I mean, I got we were playing like a best match, which is like a big head-to-head knockout tournament, and it was the first to 8, and he got to 7-1 against me, and the one game I won was with a bonus phony. It was such a fun sequence of games that, like, but yeah, he's pretty chilled, so he's probably not even looked very hard at it. I think if he looked at it properly, he'd probably know what he did, but
Yeah.
really looking
So
at
the thing with ISC is you can challenge after 5 minutes,
Yeah. Exactly. Got a suggestion of Yorkering in chat from Hugh Hornich.
Ooh.
I think that means to Yorker doesn't need to spit, I think, from memory. Let me look. Yeah, it does. Yorker to spit. So that'd be a cool move. So yeah, that would be 95 for Yorkering. That phony's still sitting there ominously.
I wish you'd challenge it off so that I can play Trilly after this, so she can bingo.
So yeah, it's gone now. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think that works out well.
Yeah, I mean it's quite a tricky one. If you don't see Yorker in, or you're not sure of it, it's quite a tricky one. I'm not
Yeah,
seeing.
I mean, most of the time you're looking to bingo parallel to the Q,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
you know, or onto the G, I suppose.
Yeah, Ruinek is fits. But yeah, Yorker was 95. Yeah, I guess yeah. There's a lot of like IER ones that fitted there. So,
Ooh, Roynick.
but yeah, Ruinek's
That's a
nice.
selection word that.
Okay.
Mm.
Yes. That's Ruinek and Nokia. So yeah, it's gonna work out as you said. To should see Loiterer go down, I would think.
At least. I mean, Trilling still goes down
Yeah.
from H10.
Yes. Yes, I think Trolley it's probably going to score a little bit more and better. Yeah, 76 versus 68. So yeah, that'd be nice. So yeah, maybe it was a tactical phony. Of the aggressive placement.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I'd have just taken the S hook with AIAS there, but just gone for balancing for a bonus rack as Andy. 57 points ahead.
Yeah. What would you play here, Craig?
I was trying to see if there's anything other than the obvious S hook.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is with that double A play is it does kind of tip off that somebody has the S or a blank basically, because most people would turn over more tiles if they didn't have the S in that situation. They'd try to play off more. So if you've got a like the only time you wouldn't like take that S hook is if you had loads of vowels and couldn't really do anything with it. But obviously, if you had clunky stuff, then you'd take that spot straight away probably.
Exactly.
But yeah, it worked out well for Andrew. Picked out two constants to go with his ideas leave. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything great with these bees. Looking at Bib, I guess. Bib underneath loiterers.
I'm inclined to. I mean, it's a pretty dreadful situation. I'm inclined to maybe try to keep that G open, possibly. Maybe play something like Blab at H11. Is it? Yeah.
I mean, you could be.
I mean, you just be that desperate.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I would say it was desperate enough. I mean, Eb was mentioned in the chat. I think Eb or Ebs even just a score. I mean, I think it'd be tricky to turn out Ebs.
Oh,
30 odds. I mean, yeah, it's a vowel heavy
Yeah.
lead, but
I didn't see Ebbs. Yeah, Ebbs would have been what I would have gone for.
yeah. I mean, I did think like you could play. I mean, it's probably too early to play something like Blub or Blab, one shot of the triple. It's probably a bit early for that, but they wouldn't have been too far behind. I would have thought in terms of like what's the best play and all that. I wouldn't think it'd be too far behind. No floating T for that one. Actually, there's a few other floaters would go with that. Floating C, floating S, or floating T. All provide 8s. Surprisingly fruitful, but none of them, of course, available, unfortunately. So Andrew sitting with Trustee, which doesn't appear to play anywhere, but still got all the quite a few. It's quite an unusual board actually. The way it's laid out, kind of like a box with plays to all the triples, apart from the left. So there's virtually like pretty much zero potential for sevens, but all those different floaters to play through.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is an 8 available for Andrew here. It's a slightly odd sounding word, but yeah, it's good.
Do you think he's seen the bingo?
I think it's possible if he sees it, he might mistrust it because it looks a bit strange with the two T's. I would think he knows it with one T, and he would be sure if it was one T, but with two T's it looks a little bit strange because again, it's one of those where most of the time you wouldn't double layer. So yeah, so it looks like he has missed it. The word was suitia, but with two T's. For those following along in the chat, a weird looking word. And yeah, it's usually, I guess, with one T is the more common, more normal what people have seen, but yeah, it looks like game on a little bit if Yuma can hit one of the bonuses.
I thought Iraq was never going to resolve itself. It's a good lesson in keeping hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she probably played it a little bit too quickly. I mean, obviously she had all the thinking time with the time that Andrew was taking, but I think it was worth a bit more time because But this, as I say, this board is so weird. In there's sort of like there's six potentially 7 floors. I mean, some of them are a little bit more well, eight. Some of them are particularly a little bit obscured, but it's so unusual to have so many floating tiles to look through. So you need to take more time to see everything, particularly with a blank. So it was definitely worth thinking a little bit longer. Might have seen something a little bit better than that.
Yeah, and being 40 behind compared to 60 behind is a massive difference.
Yeah. I mean,
You hit the triple.
yeah. I mean, she's basically still in a bonus plus extra behind, whereas if it's 40 behind, then a bonus and 50-50 game. It's like if your bonuses are here, obviously she's not going to, but if she got another bonus straight after, it should be.
Oh. And she'd have had Nacreus, I think is right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a tricky one off the H. It's quite a low probability. Hatchers. But yeah, Nacreus was mentioned in chat. Nacreus. So yeah, not sure if there's anything else. Maybe through the G possibly. Yeah, there's stuff through this. Plenty of stuff through the G, which would be about like courages, straightforward. Truckages.
Just that would be better, yeah.
So that's interesting player. Oh, sorry, I missed Andrew's rack with Eng there, but that's kind of strange. Yeah, it's like from Andrew's perspective, like the worst thing Andrew can do is play off little 5-10 point moves, because now he's dragging Yuma back to within a bonus basically. I mean, it's 55, but 55 the difference, but you want to push that up to 70, 80, not bring it down to 50, 40. Gone the wrong way.
Ooh.
Interesting pool. Oh, he's been Andy's been pretty lucky. He picked the Z out after he created a spot for it. Ooh. Yeah, and it's this the sort of situation where you wish you were that extra 10-15 points makes such a difference. It's like even if there's a bonus went down here, I mean, there might be one of them. If the bonus went down here, you'd still be pretty much a heavy underdog. The gap's sort of 70, then you're basically a 50-50 for your bonus on the triple. Let's have a look at that unseen again. I mean, it's a pretty horrible. Well, it's not horrible, but it's bad for bonusing, but well, awkward for bonus. And actually, the fact that she's got the last E is a big help. The last E is a massively helpful tile to go with all this other stuff, and it's gone a bit constant heavy as well. So, I mean, it's sort of a situation where you could definitely get a high scoring bonus with these letters, particularly that ING and everything. But in the meantime, you're not going to score enough. Okay, that's an interesting play. I guess that's just basically given up the game with that move. The 5 in the bag, so Yuma now has 6 on a rack, so she's basically given up any chance of getting an out bonus or bonus tall. So that's pretty much game over, unless Andrew plays back-to-back 40s. There's going to be a win for the UK. Round 9, I think we've lost our... Yeah, the call's gone down again with my co-commentator. We'll sort that out in a bit. If anybody else is... I'm trying to look at the standings on the centre star, but they're not loading the index page. So let me have a look. So you can still manually navigate around those. So just have a quick look at round 8 standings. So yeah, just having a look at the round 8 standings while we wait for another game. After round 8, these are individual players. Still got Paul Gallen, 7-1. Dynamis, we're just watching 6-1. Chris Vickery, sorry, 6-2. Nelly's Ollie 6-2. Rick Kennedy 6-2. All those 3 UK players. Paul Allen's on 5-0. Still got 3 games to catch up from earlier. Then we're into 5-3 and 4-4 and so on. Let's see if I can find the team standings for you for round 8. Let's have a look at that enhanced scoreboard, see if it hopefully doesn't crash my computer. That didn't work through that. Hey, so I'll have to look at my history to find the team standings. Hang on. There we go. Right, so the team standings of the round 8. So the gap is down to 19. Well, I think it's pretty much as it was. UK on 48 wins after round 8. South Africa after on 29, so it's a gap of 19. And we're pretty much at the end of round 9 now, I think. So we'll catch another game. Let's pick one. Oops. Let's have a quick look at that one. So yeah, looks like Tag Hams won that one. 146 ones in the bag, so that's all of us. Nice words there. And Natalie said, oh, this is a good close game. We'll watch this. See if I can get our co-commentator back. Let me have a look. So many windows to juggle. Nice. Still streaming, am I? Yeah. One of my windows is closed randomly. Okay. There we go. So we're at so yeah, this is pretty sure this game 9. Round 9 game. So it's pretty nip and tuck. Natalie for the UK 3-4-2. Ike 3-4-5 in South Africa. Ooh, that's quite an aggressive opening from Natalie with EW. looks like a pretty good rack right. Take back with. There is a 7 there. Hold on. They had he had a 7 anyway, but he's got EWT. So it's got endows. So yeah, the word is there's a 7 there. So if anybody can find it in chat, yeah, good spot. Stigmal, yeah, good spot. And now they go for the challenge. So let's put the gap to 96. With a with two left in the bag. There's still some glimmer of hope, I think. Let's say. So yeah, I would say. I mean, I would go definitely try. I think I would actually play IS here and hope to pick out like blank, like blank S or something, just to kind of work out more score. But that works as well. And then just playing QI. And as it happens, the blank and the S are in the bag, so I think off AUF, and it's still going to it's going to score enough to absorb a bonus pretty easily. But I think that was the main thing, was you almost needed to pick out the F to have a chance. Like pick F blank or something. But then you probably don't have any bonuses. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think F. Or leave the F in the pick out S blank on, leave the F in the bag. I'm trying. These are about the only ways I think you can win. Ooh, that's a bit aggressive. So that could lose. I mean, that probably still wins, but that does make potentially a bonus score a lot more, because if Natalie had 2 S's and gets an S bonus here and here from H14, she hits both of those and gets another 16 for theirs, then that could have lost your game, potentially. I don't know, without doing the math. So I think you might have to hit the H here as well. I don't know. It might have been possible, but yeah, I mean, off was safer, but we're still playing Nithers, I guess. 99, it's not going to be enough though. So yeah, you need to have like hitting both and with the H in that triple letter. So I'm not sure that was possible, but slightly risky, but well played, Mike. So it's a win for South Africa on that one. See if we can catch another game. Not many going on at the moment, so just catching back end of this one. So yeah, looks like Mitsurugi's in a little bit of trouble in this one. Yeah, couldn't get the out bonus. Out bonus was needed, so it looks like another win for South Africa in this one. Excuse me, knocking my mic. My apologies. I need some more high-tech stuff, like blue tack or something. Plasticine. Ugh. Amazing how useful that stuff comes in when you're streaming. Aye. So yeah, it looks like a win for very much a win for South Africa on that one. Let's see if there's any other games going on. We've got lots of new games starting. Let's try and pick one. Let's watch Nally's at Catcher from the start. Yeah, new game. Good game. Make sure I get over Howard and Natalie. So UK on the left, South Africa on the right, and looks like Howard sitting there with a blank, but the BP combination could be thwarting any bonus with that rack. But Bleep or something like that's going to go down. You'd think score reasonably well. It's always a kind of temptation to play fewer tiles when you're keeping a blank back, but the blank kind of gives you a bit more insurance really against that volatility. You don't need to kind of massage the rack so much and be cute and everything. You can just chuck some nice. You can just assume it's basically adding 30 points to your value to your rack, so you don't need to worry about it much. You're going for pleb. That's fair enough. A little bit more defensive than Bleep. There's pretty not much in it. I mean, well, defensive in some senses. If you play Bleep with the B on the left, sorry, B on the centre square, P on the right. Well, it's all pretty much of a muchness, I guess. That pleb leaves. It's one of those things that people undervalue is the E on the centre square is great for. You're going to see quite a lot of bonuses hitting that E from A1, A8, sorry. You'll see lots of bonuses at the top level, so it is a factor. You know what I mean? But it's more of a top level factor than it's obviously at lower levels. People are much more focused and good at sevens than finding eights because there's so many more eight combinations you have to look through. So it's always a lot easier to find sevens and eights. But also starting with a blank is Natalie. So both players starting with a blank. Reminds me of the Yahoo Literati days, where everybody used to start with a blank and do another 2 blanks you can pick up in the game. So you could start with 2 or 3 in theory, which is craziness. So yeah, there were actually bonuses of Natalie's rack, but not remotely easy. There's 2 actually. Through the L, there's arcology, not to be confused with archaeology. And there was colorway through the L as well. So there you go. But yeah, pretty tough spots. Mentioned on chat, pure portage, goblet, the blanks, pretty much looking pretty inviting. But that's a nice 5-way overlap from Natalie, and she's celebrated by disconnecting. Choose back soon. There we go. Obviously, five word overlap was obviously too much for the internet to handle. So that's a nice play, and straight back room. Round is Aranus. Aranus means sandy, desert-like, basically. So we're back on even keels now. Blank's all gone now, so it's more of a well. If Chris Hawkins is watching, he'll be loving this. He likes a game without blanks. So here we go, 109, 103, 6-point lead, but pretty much nothing at this stage. not the nicest of wrecks to try and cash the triple in with. Fairly standard bag so far. Down goes winner. Howard 30 down. Equally clunky wreck, but a little bit better. The M is a little bit more flexible to take this F10 hotspot. Can do a little bit there. Or I could play something like Veld to basically get rid of all the crap. Come to Vild. Veld, V-E-L-D-T, I think would have been a little bit better than that, but let's keep it at MNT. Yeah. Quick reply far from Natalie. 34 the difference. That DA giving a nice little spot for the K. Dak. Rack's pretty good actually for Howard, just needs to sort out that KO as a priority, get rid of. MOKs, something like that. A little bit better still, possibly. The M's not too bad actually for bonusing with these ladders. And you've got sort of the men ending as well, which fits in nicely on the B from B2, so that's not bad. Down goes Koi. I might have kept the eye back, but I think keeping the eye back is better. Although KO obviously takes a lot of hooks, so very accessible. So it is a lot more aggressive. So it depends on your perspective, I guess. Bit Val heavy for Natalie still, but there's a few places to kind of sort the rack out. Got the R, which looks pretty good, so maybe sorting out some of those vowels. I mean, it's one of those racks that's it's not miles away from a bonus, so just need to play off, try and find something like idea or something like that, but ideally keeping one of the E's back. So kind of yeah. Although there's nothing kind of stands out with that rack. Yeah, this seems reasonable just to play off AI. No, Howard's. Is that a bonus rack? Yeah. Is it? Yeah. So yeah, there is a 7 there for Howard. Are there any 8s? Can you see any 8s in there? Let us know if you can chat. There's a 7. One of the things with Koi was it controlled the opening, and it also, with what Howard left, he created an opening which was when he only goes to S's basically. So it's, and the thing with this rack is, he was working towards a bonus, so do you want to keep the board open towards bonuses or not? I mean, if you've got a bonus on your rack, then maybe you want to be more open, or maybe you just wanted to, But yeah, his 7 didn't play, unfortunately for me. He had Dementi, but I don't think that went anywhere. So it just played off mine, which I don't really agree with. It's like, honestly, you could just dump off the M there, and it would score 20, so 8 points more. It's probably a better leave, to be honest. So I don't know. Of course, the more tiles you play off, the more chance you get something like Q, which would mess things up. But fortunately, got fairly very few options there with Quintar, Kindar, Trank, Cat, Kin, all the rest of it. So it's not going to be, the queue's not going to be too much of an issue with this wreck. I think Trank looks reasonable from I3. Kindar and Kintar are quite wide open. So the I in Koi. I think Trank seems reasonable. Gone for Caddy. Wow. Must have missed Trank altogether. That's quite a big miss, really. Trank's gonna score 30. 34, I think. 34 for Trank compared to 15 for Caddy. So that's quite a big miss. It's quite a big downgrade. Natalie's kind of took the lead really through just by carrying on playing. It's quite a big lead now when it was basically an even game. Talking 58 leads already. I mean, this is basically even a few turns ago, so there's no blanks to come, so turnover is not a big issue. Ooh. Looks like Nellie's gonna let's hit a bonus. Revisit and visitor. Not sure visitor plays anywhere, but revisit making Rye here, and with the QI spot as well. So it's an interesting dilemma there. I think I would have played from I3, but I can understand why you'd go with that one, go with that position, but I think I'd have preferred I3. But yeah. So it's a 59 points of difference now. UK looking good on this one. Let's have a look at the unseen. So no blanks to come. That top right could be a threat actually. That might be one of the ways you lose is some big EX play, so I think you'd want to play in that top right spot. I mean, you can score pretty well anyway, but yeah, you'd quite happily sacrifice some points on that to shut down this top right. Something like Air Jam. That's pretty ugly, but there's something better. Yeah, Anu's gonna go. Anu's far better. Keep forgetting that EW word. Yeah. Dictionary inspired by The Simpsons. So yeah, that seems reasonable. That's going to put Natalie over 100 up. And you think that's pretty much GG as long as Howard can't bonus straight back. This board's looking pretty dead. Just lines for S's. Ooh, wow. Ooh. That's a strange choice. Guess must have missed Anu. A strange option. That baffled me. Must have missed it. Maybe missed EW like I did. Strange. Because it's that the EX threat is real. Like, that's one of the ways you lose is the EX. It's like Apex or something. Comes down, I don't know what, or Flex or whatever. That's one of the ways you lose a game on this board. I mean, the other obvious way is S bonus, but as long as you keep churning out scores, you can absorb the S bonus. It's gone a bit closer now after that exchange with Warp and Tube. Narrowed the gap down by 10 points. So it's 49. So we're getting in that territory where one bonus is a threat. And yeah, nice suggestion in chat from Pony Jern for 58, making Jai. That was another threat with the X, something with the J. These are all obviously S bonuses. That's why Collins is such a, it's hard to be hard to be super blocky in Collins because you just get hit by fairly innocuous things all over the place. But yeah, it's gone for Jug, which is fair enough. It's got a little bit less, but yeah, the J was a big factor. X, so yeah, surprised I missed that. I knew, but there you go. Slightly too many S's for Howard, and yeah, not much alternative really, other than Glass to score. It does block things rather, but you've got to score to keep in touch as well. I don't know what the alternatives were really. Yeah, it's tricky. With one vowel, I don't think there's much else on offer, to be honest. So the lead's down to 72, but still looking pretty good for Natalie from the UK. The temptation for a lot of people would be plenty that triple, but there's no reason whatsoever to do that. Just leave this triple alone. Let's have a look at the unseen. There's only four vowels to come, so you could do something like this, and you're not gonna worry too much about it. You're not going to worry too much about that rack leave because there's only four vowels to come, so you're going to pick up some consonants. The reason why you do that is because you might not want to leave, like leaving two in the bag. If they just dump the X off, like if they played, like EX was still a possibility. So if they play EX, empty the bag, they get within like 50, 60, and they happen to have bonuses here and here, then they can still win. It's unlikely, but because there's possibly the chances of the big EX player. I can't remember what was left now. They might have, I think Flex had gone, so there might have been a big EX player bonusy style score available as well. I don't know. I can't remember what was left. Probably not, but so I'd have just played Teen, which is slightly counterintuitive, but it was a little bit safer. But I don't think it matters too much. I mean, it's like a 0.1% chance of losing at this point. In that situation, I would have gone another tile down and open up the triple, the triple, and let Natalie. Actually, that's not that's a real. That was a real way of winning, to be honest. From Natalie's perspective, was that's another bad reason to leave two in the bag. Is your opponent can play two here, and you're in all sorts of trouble trying to block this S hook, where they can score 100 points by getting an S bonus, and you're like sweating like crazy, and you're trying to block this S hooks, and they've still got this line here to play off. See what I mean? So yeah, pawn was quite a mistake, but it's like 0.1% chance of losing as opposed to like 0.01% chance of losing. So But yeah, that was a real potential, and Howard should have played another tile off there, emptied the bag, hopefully pick a nice S bonus, make Natalie sweat it out a little bit, but don't think it's going to matter now because Natalie has the X. And yeah, Natalie just goes for the points to ref. Takes her out of range for the bonus. Just going to come down. Store needs. Die tones, whatever. But yeah, if you play another tile like it does make people sweat so much when you have a triple both ways. There's a possibility. Makes it a lot more. 90 plus points. Makes it a little bit more interesting, a bit more threatening, but there we go. So Howard's going to play a bonus pretty soon, and we'll swap over to one of the other games. They're all going pretty well. Let's have a look at the standings, see if they're updated again. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so let's have a look at the standings after round 9. Looks like it was a 5 and 5. A wash was round 9, so 53 wins for UK, 34 for South Africa, so it's 19 game difference. Been about that for 4 or 5 rounds now. Individual standings. Chris Vickery and Paul Gallen both on 7 and 2 for the UK. Paul Allen 6 and 0 for the UK. As I said, 3 games to play from earlier. Diana on Diana Mason from South Africa on 6 and 2. And then a whole host of players on 6 and 3. Natalie, Rick, Stephen, and Andrew. There we go. Stonies goes down. 40-point win in the end. So let's catch another game. I don't see much of Chris Vickery, so I'll see how their game's going. Ooh, got a nice nail biter, hopefully. This is Yuma, Diana on 356, Chris Vickery on 391, 35 the difference. Diane to play next, 35. Anything good on that queue? Nope. I guess not. Yeah, it's could have been a little bit more interesting if the Die's not stringing us out on that one. But yeah, I was thinking one of those situations where you might have to like play off 6 tiles and 5 or 6 tiles and hope you get QI in 2 places or something. But yeah, it didn't look anything fantastic with the Q, unfortunately. A nice safe play of Ed for 20 from Chris. So yeah, we're pretty much at the end of the last round. You can see the exodus of players leaving. So we'll catch up all the final games, catch the back end of them all, and update the standings and let everybody go proverbially home for the evening. Because most of us are already at home. So yeah, that finishes off with me and it 14. So it's a 40-point win for Chris in the UK. So let's see if there's any more games going. Let's find one of the slow people. Paul Allen, he's always there. Yeah, never lets us down. So there we go. Nice evenish game. Till the bonus goes down again. Choice of a few there. Well, at least 2, 3. So it's Parenti, which I mentioned earlier in the day. Onto that E, or through that E. But there's some through the H as well. It's Trephine and Nephrite, I think. Or Prayer Night. Or Prayer Night. So yeah, spoiled for choice there. So it's going to give Paul about a 100-point lead. I expect him. I'm pretty sure. I remember having a conversation where he went through the three anagrams with this with the H. So I'm pretty sure he knows them all, and he's just working it out which is the best. I think Trephine. Well, actually, yeah, I think Trephine. The problem is Nephrite and Phrenite. Sorry, not Phrenite. Prenite. Prenite do leave an E in the triple lane. Trephine is a verb. It actually takes an R as well, so Trephine doesn't create a triple, but it does make it very easy for 7s and decent scores to go down by hooking the end of it. So interesting dilemma. Yeah, it's gone for Nephrite. So Nephrite, that is a kind of jade uses charm against kidney disease. With a kidney stone. Fair enough. So yeah, it did open up a 9-timer, but as you can see, Steve doesn't look like he's got the rack to do anything about it. Well, he's got a reasonable scoring player, Fehm, Fehm, but that does kind of close things down, but there's only so much you can do with that rack, unfortunately. So yeah, Fehm goes down 48. Big pickup of the blank for Paul. 57 the difference, but he's got a blank. I mean, there's another blank to come, so it doesn't look like he can bonus straight away, but you'd think next turn he's probably going to bonus with that rack. And he can score reasonably well. Let's have a look at Stroff. So Stroff is a Greek word, a group of lines forming a section of a lyric poem. Yeah, that didn't really enlighten me much, but maybe. So it does take an S, Stroff, if you're wondering. So from Paul's perspective, you kind of worried a little bit about a huge play on the Stroff with the S, but Litu's nice. The worst case scenario for Paul was Steve gets a bonus with Stroffs now and doesn't use a blank or anything, gets a 90-point play, and then he picks a blank, and then basically it's an even game. But that sequence didn't happen, but he wasn't far off. Steve wasn't far off from getting a big play, so yeah, there was a little bit of a worry, but you're going to balance everything up really. If you wanted to block, you could have gone for the previous move, could have gone for Inti, but it does sacrifice quite a lot, so difficult choice. So yeah. So Paul's not picked the best of Val, he's still got 2 eyes. So I might have to wait on that bonus just yet. I don't think he's too concerned. I mean, if he wants to kind of kill things somewhat, I mean, obviously he's got the blank, so he doesn't particularly want. It's a difficult one, but he could play just LI off here. I mean, but the trouble is he's then, and then he's basically funneling bonuses here, or in this next column, which is not too, but then, it's close enough that he'll, he's not necessarily going to bonus back, and then it could be an even game sort of thing. So yeah, kind of a balance in here. What he doesn't want to do is play LI and then get some sort of IST bonus next turn and create a 9-timer. So he's gone for Leary, which is reasonable. I guess he wants to basically force bonuses into this lane, which is perfectly fine. It makes it if the bonus goes down, it probably I think there's bonuses here. Yeah, there's a bonus and there it goes. So it basically, Paul is still in control of the game because that bonus was so low scoring. It was 66. If he gets a bonus, anywhere else, then it's an even game. But Paul still has the initiative. He's only 10 points behind, and he's got the blank, so he's picked out an S. So Paul's still a favourite, but it's a pretty even game now. More of an even game, although as I said, Paul's definitely got the advantage because of the blank. So he's got the S as well, so he's got access to this. All these, he's got the Sodas hook, although there's 2 C's in the bag, so Coders is pretty likely. But Coders isn't a big threat because there aren't any, there aren't any H's, B's, W's, or anything like that that can hit you from J2. So this area is a non-factor really. I mean, Coders is nice, to get cute little play like Corker or something and score 25, but so you worry about that a little bit, but there are no other. Those are the only pointy letters for the C's, so it's going to be very hard for Steve to outrun Paul. As long as Paul scores reasonably well in this turn, then goes out in 2 basically, or out. Paul should have it really, because Steve can't score anything other than probably Coders and something down here. I mean, what else can he do? Colic or something like that. It's an interesting, very kind of defensive option from Paul with Retox. Maybe he's worried about Oxo, which is fair enough. Q and Oxo, yeah, there would have been. Q and Oxo's going to score reasonably well as well. It's pretty better than Coders. So yeah, it's worth kind of blocking, I guess. As I say, there was that kind of threat of Coders always. But any sort of play this bomb left was going to give something back to Paul. So whereas Q wasn't, Q was going to give nothing back. So I still think Retox is a little bit. You're better off scoring. Now he's 18 points down and he's going to go out. I think the trouble with Vest is it. I can't remember if there was E's left. Yeah, see, if he plays Vest, then it gives back Cave or something like that, or Cat, or Scythe, or however it's pronounced. So that was the downside with Vest. I don't know. I mean, he should be fine, but there's a little bit. Don't know. It's a little bit risky, I think. Rain Retox. It's made it tighter than probably wanted, really. He's really going to play everything spot on after he plays Retox. I mean, it's. I mean, to be fair, I mean, there are places to score. I mean, there's this area here with a piece. I mean, there's nowhere fantastic to score, but it's enough to worry about. And like, I mean, Kuhn, if Steve had dumped off 2 vowels around this P with Orpa, then like, I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, Paul's still going to win, I think, because like Paul can just play Vest and then he'll have an out in 2, like he'll have an out after it, whatever. But it's still, he's still making himself a little bit, he's still making it a little bit hairy for himself, I think. If things had gone a little bit more awkwardly, but fair play, played it out well, so it's a 12-point win in the end. Let's say the blank was the main thing because it's just guaranteed. Blank in an S just guaranteed out in 2. Retox was a little bit, as I say, Retox made it a little bit hairy, but fair enough. You played it out okay, so can't complain. So it looks like all the games are through, I think. So we're going to have a look at the standings. Hopefully they'll be up right now. There we go. Let's have a look. Of course, Paul's got his other 3 games to play later on, but we're not going to hang around for those because I want to eat. Like, yeah, feel free to watch him if you're on ISC. Yeah, the games haven't gone through yet, but oh, there we go. So let's have a look at the teams. So yeah, UK have pulled out a little bit after that one. I think that was a 7-3 round to the UK. So UK on 60 wins, South Africa on 37, and there's still those 3 games Paul Allen's to play. So that's pretty much it. I'll go through the individual standings as well. So we got Paul Allen in 3rd, but he's on 7 and nothing. So he's won all 7 games, and he's got 3 more to play. So he'll probably end up. Good chance he'll end up top if he wins 2 of those. He will. Yeah. So the top 2, as it were. So on 8 wins, Chris Vickery with the best spread plus 9 and 8. Paul Gallen plus 9-3-1, both UK. 3rd is Paul Allen 7-0 plus 5-1-4 UK. On 4th, Natalie Zolty 7-3 plus 5-7-8 UK, and also on 7 plus 4-3-5 is Rick Kennedy. And then we've got the players on 6. So it's Diana from South Africa, the first South African player on the list. On 6-3 plus 38, still got a game against Paul at play. And on 6-4 is Stephen Grusd plus 30-40. Colin Northmore 6-4 plus 283. The UK, and the last of the 6 is Andy Goodwin plus 67 spread. Okay, that's all I'll go through. Save everybody's blushes further down. So that's it for today. I think we start a little earlier. You'll have the schedules on my page on the stream. So I think it's about 11:35 tomorrow. Same kind of format. Another round robin, 5 games, break 5 games, and we'll take you through all of that. So see everyone tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all then. Good evening.
Bye.